Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to talk about how to build trading talent. Now, it has been researched all over the world with different attributes like talent, leadership, etc. Are they inherent? Is someone born with talent? Or can they be developed? Well, what people have found out is that talent is actually developed and nurtured. Now, one of the psychologists who all of the three daughters were grandmasters in chess actually had decided even before his daughter's birth that he's going to make each one of them a chess champion. We all have seen, for that matter, the movie Dangal, where the father actually decided that he will make his two daughters world-class wrestling champions. So what I'm trying to tell over here is that similar to other things, trading also involves a talent. And yes, that talent can be nurtured, that talent can be honed, that talent can be created, talent is not something which someone is born with. So when I'm talking about trading talent, I also include a lot of experience which I have gained over the past couple of years when I've been training. So I've trained about more than 200, 250 students, and by now I feel that there's like this psychic ability I have. When anybody goes and talks to me, asks me some question, comes to me with their problem, I sometimes seem to know the problem even before they spell it out. Now the idea is that how many people actually understand and even acknowledge the fact that trading requires a certain skill set and talent. Because once you start acknowledging the fact that it requires skill set and talent, the game changes for you completely. Now what generally happens is when people they come into trading, and you see, trading is something which is accessible. It is accessible, it is not easy. So when something is accessible but it is not easy, don't take it for granted. You see, it is easy to start a company. All you need is probably a few licenses, probably a trade license, a few permissions, a current bank account, probably some paperwork, and that's it. You can start a company. But it is difficult. It is difficult to build a business. It is easy to open a trading account. You can just put some money in, just file your documents, etc., and you can open your trading account. It is difficult to make something tangible out of a small number. It is difficult to become a great, successful, a consistently profitable trader. Now, in today's world, people are looking at traders or looking at social media, people showing off their fake Rolex watches and their Ferraris, and they want instant gratification out of trading. It is not like that. I will break this reality to you right now that trading completely involves hard work, dedication, and for trading, short term is not even 1-2 years. You just take about 3 to 4 years. That's like short term for trading, and that's like, that's like really going long term into your success mode. Because in a matter of 6 months or a year, it is not possible for someone to build a lot of a big corpus just trading. You need to make those mistakes. You need to go through those grind. You need to well deserve that success. That's what that time prepares you for. But the problem is that I see a lot of people who are trading and have experience of dealing with market for years and years. And just like any other thing, they have been delaying certain serious steps they need to take in order to build a trading talent. To build the necessary skill set to trade, you have to understand that trading skill set is not something which is any different from anything else. Developing a skill set, for example, in driving. When I began to drive, I used to be really careful about everything here and there. And as I got comfortable, I can even drive while I'm talking to someone, I'm singing, and I'm so comfortable doing it. There are a lot of things, and so is trading. You got to practice it so well until it becomes second nature. And is it not? It is never going to be as easy and simple, because while you drive, you make mistake. You probably even have a small accident here and there, and that is how you learn. You take it in your stride. One of the things which kills our objectivity over here is the up and down of money that we see. Now, most people are risk averse. Your mind is not wired in such a way that you take a risk in order to achieve a return through a certain model. Because whenever your mind is focusing too narrow, it focuses on every day. Like what happens is when people go out and trade, suppose they lose some amount of money, and you see they overtrade the entire day in order to make that money within that day. The focus of the mind becomes narrow, which creates very fear. You have to realize that this is a long-term thing, and you need to not take it on a day-by-day basis, and don't take your losses too personally. This is also because when trading becomes so psychological, the part of the talent of trading which is required are the psychological attributes, the psychological qualities of being able to withstand, understand, and deal with uncertainties and probabilities. How strong is your emotional muscle is not a function of how strong it was from the very beginning, but how experiences and learnings have made it strong. Now you can take your experiences and learnings and sit and crib that there is no way out, but here I am to tell you that there is a way out, that there is a way to understand how step-by-step approach can lead you to develop a successful trading career. You see, there are millions and millions and, sorry, not millions, there are billions of traders all around the world, and believe it or not, every morning you have got your pulse on the ebbing and flowing financial markets. You are an important part of the liquidity and the capital formation of this country. You are a successful, intelligent trader who takes a serious approach, and all you got to do is carve out one little piece of whatever is there out there, which can lead to an extremely successful career, an extremely successful professional life. Now, obviously, to put it into perspective, it is not that easy. So let's go through what are the different things which we require to do in order to hone and build the trading skill. One of the first things which you need to do is that you need to find a way to associate with the markets. What generally happens is when people come, they started taking risks. They go ahead and they feel like this is going up, so let me go and buy right now. They feel like it's going down, let me go and sell it right now. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes the results are not so random, they have a certain pattern to it. And what happens is whatever they gauge from the results, or whatever they did, or whatever the market did after they took those trades, they go and want to make their heuristics and make their thumb rules on the basis of what generally happens, the way generally market responds to that. This also leads to a lot of confusion, because suppose somebody buys something and books profits very quickly. After the second or third trade, he sees that the price has ran up like crazy and he could have made 10 times the money he actually made. The problem is that you don't have a clarity. You don't have a clarity. You don't have an idea. You don't have an association with what is happening in the price movement, the price structure, with what is happening with your trades. That the market is not obligated to make you money. The market doesn't even know you, for that matter. All the market knows is that it will do what it has to do, it wants to do. And it is your job to read the market well. And when I'm talking about reading the market, that is like the first step to associate with the price movements. You see, a lot of years of experience are going to give you nothing if you do not associate with price movements in the right way. If you start associating your price movements with the right way, you develop a certain level of objectivity, a certain level of confidence and conviction the next time you sit and trade. The way you approach trading, the way you connect with the market should be, as far as the short-term trading is concerned, should be a technical analysis. Technical analysis is the study of mass psychology on a chart. Why? Because prices are not moved by balance sheet. In the short term, prices are moved by greed and fear. In a nutshell, prices are moved by mass psychology. If you can read the mass psychology very well, you will be in a better position to trade with your money in such a manner where you will be convinced, and when you're convinced, you are able to take certain risks. And if I put you in such a state where you're not taking random profits, but you are using a model, and that model states that your risk to reward ratio will be skewed to the positive end. That means for every rupee you lose, you're going to make 4 rupees. So if every trade that I take gives me 4 times the kind of money a losing trade takes away from me, I can afford to get wrong a few times and still be profitable. Also, the association with technical analysis gives you a system of technical trading with the technical setups. And once those technical setups are in place, what tends to happen is that you understand that these technical setups, whenever they occur, whenever they unfold in front of you, you trade only then. You don't trade out of emotion. You don't trade out of the greed for random profits. You don't trade because your friend told you that this is a very good stock, go and buy it right now and this is going to go 50% up from here. You trade because you're sure of what you're doing with your money. Now, if you want to build a long-term career with trading, obviously it is not something which you can do on someone else's conviction. So don't fall for tips. And even if you listen to somebody's opinion, why don't you have a system, go to the chart and look exactly at what the other person may be looking at, or whether if you can find clues for a buy or sell signal. You may be right even if the other person's opinion is completely opposite of you. Only the market is right. Everything else, be it fundamental analysis, be it technical analysis, are a function of probabilities. So step number 1 is to find a way to associate with the markets. Step number 2, one of the most important steps, the most important step is risk management. How many people really even acknowledge that you need to manage your risks when they first come to markets? It's then when they are hurt, they realize that over expecting from moves in the markets with high positions actually blurs their thinking. Now you see, if you have a very high quantity of position, it is bound to blur your thinking, because the volatility of money will have a psychological impact on you. And when something has a psychological impact on you, it fogs the way you look at the charts, the way you look at the markets, and whatever clarity you have is not executed to its best potential. Therefore, position sizing, risk management, etc. are extremely important. You have a limited capital, and because your capital is limited, you need to make sure that a few trades do not wipe off your account completely. Now, if you put risk management in the perspective of a technical setup, you already have a risk to reward ratio which is extremely rewarding with a high success ratio. So what do I mean by a high success ratio or a high hit ratio? I mean that out of 10 trades I take, about 6, 7, 8, sometimes even 9, most of the trades are correct. Most of the trade reach its target and not reach their stop losses. I repeat, most of those trades reach their target, they do not reach their stop losses. So what are we going to look at from now? From now we are going to look at a situation where we see that if we mingle a technical trading approach with a technical setup, add the idea of risk management tools with it, and if I blend everything together with a proper psychological preparation, and this psychological preparation runs at 2 levels. Level number 1, look at the bigger picture. You're running a marathon and you're not running a sprint. So if you look at the bigger picture, you will try and not get affected by day-to-day ups and downs. You will understand that you've got your skill in place. Now you have to wait for the best opportunity to come whenever it comes. If you don't give yourself a matter of 6 months to make a few crore rupees, but to give a matter of few years to make a few crore rupees, of course, the patience which kicks in changes everything about your trading. Now, this was about patience, but psychology has got many aspects to it. There is an animal in you, your brain has chemicals and hormones which are going around your entire body, stuff like dopamine and testosterone. What they are actually doing is that sometimes making you aggressive, sometimes making you act in certain ways which you're not supposed to act. Sometimes the emotions also play a role in the markets, where the screen and the markets are not the place for the most of the emotions to play out, but they still do. And to be able to take control of that, take hold of that, you need to understand these things. A few of the things which I have learned in my training process is that yes, you can go to books and probably read 100 books, and it may take you 5 to 6 years to understand these kind of skills, pattern recognition, the essence of technical analysis, the essence of mass behavior, a few classical and a few advanced concepts like Elliott wave theory, and it will also take you some time and experience to understand, yes, that you need psychological preparation. The psychological preparation will make you introspect and make you learn these things. You can read 100 books and spend a few years doing that, or you can also choose to get some external help, because when you get an external perspective, it really helps, like we do to our students in my various workshops and courses. I give them external perspective even after they have done the course with me. And what happens is that when they get external perspective, they understand what to do, exactly when to do, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and make the process faster for them. Apart from trading as a skill, what really you need in you is the kida, or what we call, the crib to make money, the entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial spirit is what you need. Once you have the spirit, you are able to persist with grit through failures and through successes and through time, as you learn more, as you develop the skill. And I'm trying to tell you all the reality which is over here. I'm not trying to make it sound too amazing and flashy. It is not easy, but it is possible. Many have done it. Many of my students are working full-time traders at the moment, and they like took training from me a few years back. So what I have really learned is that skill and talent can be nurtured, honed, and even created. The first thing you need to realize is to bring into your awareness that you need to do something about your trading. You need to do something right. You need to believe in something, because a life deserves that one thing in which you believe very deeply. I repeat, life deserves that one thing in which you believe very deeply. The moment you start believing very deeply and acting by the right principles, the clock will start ticking for you. Moving the needle will become easy for you. I started trading 8 to 9 years back when I was a college student in the first year of college. And from there till now, it has been an extremely long journey, one of the most beautiful journey. And when I look back, it is not the money which is there now, the comfort in the mental comfort in trading which is there now, but the convictions took time to build, piece by piece, and slowly and steadily, everything always came together. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you right now is that today I'm going to share with you one of the things which we are looking forward to right now. Beside the courses which I already teach, I'm doing a workshop in Mumbai, and this is a weekend workshop. Over the weekend, 22nd and 23rd of July, I'm going to come to Karl Residency, Hotel Karl Residency, which is in Andheri West. The workshop details will be in a link given below, which is the link of the form. So if you get this flyer from somewhere, if you've seen it moving around, this is the workshop which is going to be conducted by me. You can call up Mr. Sachin Sarwade in the respective numbers, on the respective numbers. Also, I'm going to show you a glimpse of the form which is there, and I'm going to be vividly exploring the subject of technical trading and psychology in those 2 days. Now, generally the courses are longer which I offer, but if I have to come to your city and if I have to give you a live workshop, a weekend workshop is best with everybody. So what we are going to target is going to, in a concise and simplistic, well put manner, such a simple manner that we have some retired professionals from other fields, even some college students coming to us. We're going to put it in a very simplistic manner, a concise manner for everybody to understand very clearly. And also going to explore some of the most advanced concepts that I know of and that I teach in obviously they're not going to be like extremely details, but the some of the things which I'm going to share are the things which I don't even share in the regular courses, and those things are going to be extremely path breaking for you. What I'm trying to tell you over here, that if you look at the details, if you go to the link which is given below in the form, if you look at the details, it's going to give you an entire insight about what all is there. And as I read it, from the very basics to very advanced, and a lot of time given to psychology and how applied trading psychology, right, which is the blending of psychology and patterns. So you don't need to just understand the psychology of yourself. You also need to understand the psychology of the market, the sentiment the market is in. There's a way to read it, there's a way to understand it, and moreover, there's a way to understand yourself. See, there are only two things in the markets which you need to understand. The two things which you need to understand, number one is the market and how to associate with it. And number two, you need to understand yourself. Once you've got these two things done, you're on your way to build the talent for long-term success. And I mean long-term success, I mean long-term consistent success. Consistently profiting trader. That means over a series of trade, you net out in profits every single time. So this is a process. This requires practice, and a little bit of deliberate practice will always be needed to create something extremely beautiful. It just doesn't happen like that. Speculation and gambling is as old as the hills, but really, if I come to realize that one of the most important things is practice. Practice makes a man awesome. So thank you very much. Go to the link below, and if you are anywhere near Bombay or in Bombay, just come down. Even if you are far from Bombay, we have people coming from all over India. Come down, use this workshop to the best, and make the most of it, because I'm here to give you the most exclusive things. And if you are going to respond to it in the best way, it's going to be a beautiful thing for you. I'm more than sure you're going to get the 100% value of your money's worth, and you're going to have the best time of your life. I'm going to make it as enjoyable as possible. So thank you everyone, and goodbye.